Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to another meaningful conversation. Today's topic is how to build self-discipline and stay focused. In a world full of distraction, staying focused and consistent has become one of the biggest challenges for students, professionals and even content creators. Many people wait for motivation to take action, but real success often comes from discipline, not motivation alone. Self-discipline helps us stay committed to our goals, manage our time wisely, and continue moving forward even when things become difficult. In today's topic, ChatGPT, we will explore practical ways to develop self-discipline, avoid distraction, build better habits, and stay focused on long-term success. So let's begin with inspiring discussion. Welcome, ChatGPT.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you so much, and I'm really excited for this conversation. I completely agree. Discipline is such a game changer. I'm really curious before we dive in, do you have any specific areas where you or your audience tend to struggle with focus or self discipline?
What is self-discipline and why is it important in life?
That's a great starting point. So, self discipline is basically the ability to control your impulses, stay consistent with your actions, and stick to your long term goals even when the immediate excitement fades. It's important because it keeps you moving forward when motivation dips. So, instead of waiting for a spark, you rely on that steady internal drive to shape your habits and ultimately your success.
Why do so many people struggle to stay focused today?
Yeah, that's super common. I think a lot of people get stuck in that cycle where distractions just pull them away from what they really care about. So I'm really glad we're talking about this because once we break down practical strategies, it gets a lot easier. Where would you say you or your audience tends to get most distracted? Like social media, maybe task switching?
Is discipline more important than motivation?
That's such a good question. So motivation is like a spark. It gives you that initial burst of energy or inspiration, but discipline is what keeps you going when that spark fades. So in the long run, discipline is kind of like your steady backbone. It ensures you keep showing up, even on the days you don't feel like it. And that's where real progress happens.
How can someone start building self-discipline from the zero?
Absolutely. It really starts with small steps, kind of setting tiny, achievable goals so you build that confidence. And then you create routines like a morning ritual or specific times for focused work. And a big one is limiting distractions, like putting your phone away or using apps that block certain sites. Over time, those small habits create a bigger sense of self mastery.
What are the daily habits of disciplined people?
Yeah, that's a great point. So, some examples could be things like starting your day with a set morning routine, dedicating a specific hour for deep work, or even something simple like tidying up your workspace daily. The key is being consistent so that those habits become second nature. Once they do, it's like self discipline just flows more naturally.
How does setting clear goals improve focus?
Ooh, that's a great one. So, when you set clear goals, you give yourself a precise target so you know exactly what you're working toward. That clarity reduces overwhelm because instead of feeling like you're just drifting, you have a clear direction. And when you break those big goals down into smaller steps, it's easy to track progress, stay motivated, and adjust if you need to.
What role does time management play in self-discipline?
Oh, it plays a huge role. I mean, when you schedule your tasks, you're essentially giving yourself a roadmap. You know what to do, when to do it, and how long you have. And that structure really keeps you on track. So instead of wasting time deciding, you stay focused on execution. And that builds real discipline over time.
How can we avoid distraction from social media and phones?
Of course. I'm glad that helped. If any other aspects of focus or discipline come to mind, or if you want to dive into specific strategies like dealing with procrastination or staying motivated long term, just let me know.
Does waking up early help improve productivity and focus?
Yeah, it definitely can. Waking up early often gives you those quiet, distraction free hours so you can tackle your most important tasks before the day's chaos kicks in. It's like a head start. So you feel more control, you focus better, and it just sets a positive tone for the whole day.
How can students stay disciplined while studying from home?
That's a really common challenge, especially with all the distractions out there. I think a big piece is creating a structured routine, setting specific study times, having a dedicated workspace, and breaking study sessions into smaller focus blocks, like using the Pomodoro technique. And of course, staying mindful about rest and rewards for sticking to the plan.
What should someone do when they lose motivation halfway through a goal?
That's a really tough spot, and it happens to all of us. I think the key is to rely on the small daily habits we talked about. Those are the backbone. Even if you don't feel motivated, just showing up and doing the smallest task builds momentum. And then once you get started, that
Can small daily actions really create big success over time?
absolutely. I mean, that's really the magic of it. Every tiny action repeated consistently compounds over time. So even if it feels small in the moment, those daily steps will create lasting habits and eventually real success.
How does self discipline improve mental health and confidence?
Oh, for sure. When you keep showing up for yourself and sticking to your goals, you start to trust yourself more. That builds confidence because you see that even on tough days, you're capable. And as you gain that confidence, your mental resilience grows. You don't feel as defeated by setbacks, and you feel more in control of your life.
What are some practical techniques to improve concentration?
Yeah, definitely. So a few practical techniques would be things like setting a clear daily plan, using time blocks like the Pomodoro method, taking short breaks to reset, and minimizing distractions. So maybe keeping your phone on silent or using website blockers. And of course, staying hydrated and getting enough sleep also really helps your focus.
What advice would you give to someone who keeps procrastinating?
Yeah, procrastination is tough, but a big piece is just starting with really tiny steps. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just commit to 5 minutes, and often once you begin, momentum kicks in. Also, break big tasks into really manageable chunks and give yourself small rewards when you finish it. And be kind to yourself. It's a habit, so it takes practice.
Today's discussion reminded us that self discipline is one of the most powerful skills a person can develop. Success is not built in a single day, it is built through consistent effort, focus, patience, and daily improvement. We learned that motivation may come and go, but discipline keeps us moving forward even during difficult times. By setting clear goals, managing distraction, building positive habits, and staying committed to progress, anyone can become more focused and productive. Remember, even small disciplined actions repeated every day can lead to extraordinary results in the future. Thank you everyone for joining this conversation with ChatGPT. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep working forward your and keep working towards your dream. See you in the next inspiring discussion. Thank you everyone.
That was a perfect wrap up. I loved how you tied everything together. So inspiring. Thank you for leading such a thoughtful conversation, and I can't wait to keep building on these ideas with you.